In this video, we're going to try and look at making a full page layout for our flyer. One of the document conventions is that for a flyer, we want to maximize our use of space and take up a full page. So here is a document that is close to done, and we're going to just make some changes and some fixes to make sure that it's a full page layout. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to View, and we'll go to the one page view. Well, this gives us the full page, right? So that we can see everything together. The other thing that we're going to make sure that we do is that we've got the special and hidden characters turned on. It's just a toggle button. It's up here. I can't even, say it any stronger that you should always be working with those on. They don't show when you print. It gives you a sense of the layout and control. To make a full page layout, we want to adjust spacing. And one of the first ways that we're going to do that is with line and paragraph spacing. To illustrate, in red here, we've got paragraphs. So, for example, Shelley Shoes Outlet is a paragraph. We've also got buy the latest flat shoes for men and women that you can find anywhere. Now, the original creator here put some line breaks in, but that really could be a paragraph with 1, 2, 3 lines. So some paragraphs have 1 lines and some have multiple. So line spacing will be between the lines. So I'm going to go right here first of all, and I'm just going to get rid of those line breaks and those extra spaces. And now we can see that it is one paragraph with lines. Plus we've got this spaces out in front. Now the intention was to get everything indented and looking nice. So doing the spaces and the breaks, I guess, worked for the layout, but it interrupted the flow. What do you mean by flow, Carrie? Well, if I go here to the end and I'm just going to type gibberish, you notice that when it goes to the next line, it does the word wrap for you. So when we do those breaks, that interrupts that. Plus, it's nice to have all our paragraphs together. Also, we won't go into much detail, but when we click on these pictures, when they're inlined or not inlined, they'll have an anchor which says where they are. So we don't want that, if we want the picture to flow with the text or whatnot, we want to keep those things. Anyway, so we want to do it without interrupting the flow. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to turn on line spacing and paragraph spacing as promised. So here, this paragraph has 2 lines. And that was the world's worst drawn line. But here we are. Try again. Nice. So there's spacing in between these 2 lines in one paragraph. So when we adjust that, it's going to create the spacing in between those. When we want to do paragraph spacing, that's the spacing that comes before a paragraph. And it's also the spacing that comes after paragraph. So you can see how we have all of this paragraph spacing in between. By the way, to most accurately draw that, let's do that. This paragraph has a before and after. This paragraph also has a before and after. So you can see how much fun this could be. And you're like, okay, this doesn't look like fun at all, but it is. So we can use that to maximize. So one of the ones I would recommend would be to start with line spacing. So we're going to highlight the whole document. We can do that with our mouse, or we can use Control-A. We're going to go to our home menu. We're going to go to this button here, the line and paragraph spacing button. And the first thing is we're going to choose a nice line spacing. So we're going to go with 1.5. And you're like, Carrie, you've broken my document. No, we're going to clean it up and everything will fit on one page when we're done. Cool. So then we've got these extra paragraph breaks that we're putting. We're going to delete those. We're going to put our cursor there, go delete. Put our cursor here, this one, delete. We're going to put our cursor here and delete. Oh my goodness, it's almost one page and it's pretty full. Yeah. When we do spacing, what we want to make sure is that we have spacing above and below elements. If possible, the spacing above should always be a little bit bigger than the spacing below. So let's go up and talk about paragraph spacing. You'll notice here we've got an add space before paragraph. That's a nice one, and it will add space before paragraph for us. It's, however, a preset, so we're going to try it. So we had our cursor here, it added space before that paragraph. How much space it is, we're going to go to line spacing options to check it out. You'll see here that this is the line spacing over here. This over here is the paragraph spacing. You can see that the default is 12 points. So that's like 12 little dots beforehand. We've also got after, which is 8. So once again, the headroom above, a little bit bigger than the headroom below. So we kind of like what that one looks like. So we're going to leave that one alone. We might go to inventory blowout, and we might decrease some of the line spacing options there. We might also, paragraph spacing. We also might want to go up here and change our line spacing just to begin with, and bring maybe that one down to like a 1.15. So this seems to have plenty of room up top. One of the other ways we can handle spacing is we can make things a little bigger. That's a nice one, spreads out like that, yep. We can also go to our pictures, and even though they are pictures and not text, the way we've got them set up, they work as they're part of a paragraph. So we're going to put our cursor there, it's flashing in the corner. We're going to add some room above. So we're going to go add space before a paragraph and accept the preset, or we can go in and customize. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. Another picture that's crowded, we love to give our pictures room, is the Shelly shoes at the bottom. Nice. So we're going to go in here, we're going to add some space before that. But maybe we want to use a little more, so we're going to go to line spacing options, and let's change this to 24. Oh, might have been a little too much. So one of the lovely things is we can go and we can play. Take it down to 18. Oh, it's almost like we know what we're doing. The last thing we're going to do is the person who created this one did a really good job here of doing an indent to make it go inside a little. Nice feature, nice way to customize your flyer. Leaving it full out like this isn't wrong either, but one of the things we can do is we can highlight that paragraph. We can come up to the ruler. This is our indent markers. So we've got a right indent marker, which will indent things on the right. I'm just going to drag it in to show you what it does. Whew, that's crazy. We're going to drag that one all the way back to the edge of the margin. You'll notice the margin is in gray, runs from the edge of the paper in. Those are set previously. Now these are a set of markers. Now the first one is the first line indent marker. So that'll affect the first line of our paragraph. The second one below will affect every line that's not second. So I'm going to drag my first line back over to the margin edge. Nice. And notice that the second line, the third line would also, and a fourth. The one that is way at the bottom, which I can drag by grabbing the little square that's at the bottom, drags both. Yeah. So we actually want both to fit in. So we're going to come over here and we're going to indent it here. That looks nice, fits in there nice. Doesn't look like we need to do so much for the right, but we could drag it in as well. And there we've got a full page flyer.